One rainy evening, Jungkook found Taehyung standing by the window, staring blankly at the droplets sliding down the glass. The suit he had changed into clung damply to his form, revealing the tension in his shoulders and the pale lines of his wrists. "You shouldn't be standing here alone in the rain," Jungkook said quietly, moving closer. I like the rain," Taehyung replied, voice distant. It makes things feel less heavy." Jungkook reached out, lightly placing a hand on Taehyung's arm. The contact sent an electric shock through Taehyung. He stiffened, then slowly relaxed into the touch, though his eyes remained wary. "You don't have to be strong all the time," Jungkook murmured. "You can lean on me." Taehyung's heart raced. Desire and fear collided in a storm he had never experienced. He hated that he wanted this, the touch, the closeness, but he couldn't deny it. His body responded, betraying the careful walls he had built around himself. Jungkook noticed, always noticing. The slight shiver that ran through Taehyung, the way his breath hitched when Jungkook leaned just a little closer. He didn't push yet, but he didn't retreat either. He let the tension simmer, letting Taehyung feel, letting desire grow slowly, painfully. You're tense," Jungkook said quietly, stepping closer. The warmth of his body brushed Taehyung's side, sending another shiver through him. "I'm fine," Taehyung muttered, but his voice was weak. His chest tightened, his mind screaming at him to run, to hide, but his body betrayed him, leaning unconsciously toward the heat of Jungkook's presence. Jungkook's hand hovered near Taehyung's, finally brushing his fingers against the back of Taehyung's hand. The touch was electric, deliberate, intimate, and Taehyung's resolve began to crumble. "Jungkook," Taehyung's voice was hesitant, almost fearful. I don't know if I can." "You don't have to do anything you're not ready for," Jungkook interrupted, his lips brushing Taehyung's temple. "I want this, us, to be because you wanted, not because I demanded." Despite himself, Taehyung's body responded. A shiver ran down his spine, a warmth spreading from his chest to his fingertips. He had never felt this sensation before, not just lust, but safety intertwined with desire. Taehyung finally allowed himself to surrender to the moment. Jungkook was gentle yet passionate, guiding him through every hesitation, every doubt. It was tender, a first step in breaking Taehyung's walls. Jungkook's hands were firm but considerate, his lips warm and reverent, his voice whispering promises of protection, love, and unyielding devotion. Over the following days, their connection deepened. Jungkook would watch Taehyung flinch at sudden noises, then quietly reassure him. He arranged the suite to be comforting, removed unnecessary pressures, and silently bore the tension. Taehyung, in turn, struggled with his growing emotions. There were moments he wanted to flee, to retreat into the safety of solitude, but Jungkook's unwavering presence anchored him. He began to notice subtle things. The way Jungkook's hand lingered on his back when he walked, the warmth of his arms when he held him, the way he smiled softly when Taehyung spoke. To the world, Jeon Jungkook was a tyrant. He spoke little. He smiled never. He kept his husband at arm's length in public, Tabloids whispered, apolitical marriage, a bought spouse, a cold bed. Taehyung heard it all. He stood beside Jungkook at events, hands folded neatly, eyes lowered just like he had been trained to do all his life. What no one saw, Jungkook placing himself between Taehyung and anyone who raised their voice. Jungkook ending meetings early when Taehyung's hands shook. Jungkook memorizing every trigger Taehyung never spoke aloud. And still, Taehyung believed Jungkook didn't want him because Jungkook never touched him in front of others, never claimed him, never said his name with softness where anyone could hear. That silence hurt more than bruises. It happened after a charity gala. Taehyung had excused himself early, overwhelmed by the noise, the lights, the way people looked at him like an object passed between families. He didn't notice the shadow in the hallway, didn't hear the footsteps until, still playing husband, his stepmother's voice. Taehyung froze. You think wearing silk and diamonds changes what you are? She sneered, fingers digging into his arm. Useless. Your father is near the bankruptcy and see, here you are enjoying your life. Taehyung's breath shattered. All fear rushed in like poison. She raised her hand, and it never landed. Jungkook's grip was iron. Take your hand off him. The temperature dropped. His stepmother laughed nervously. He's my... If you touch him again, Jungkook said quietly, I will make sure you never use that hand again. She left. Taehyung slid down the wall, shaking. Jungkook knelt instantly, hands hovering again, always asking without words. I'm sorry, Taehyung whispered, tears streaking down his face. I shouldn't be like this. I'm embarrassing. Jungkook's control cracked. He pulled Taehyung into his chest, hard, protective, real. No, Jungkook said, voice rough. You should never have survived that alone. That night, Taehyung didn't pull away. He stayed, curled against Jungkook's body, fingers fisting into his shirt, breathing slowly, sinking with Jungkook's steady heart. Jungkook kissed his hair, once, then again hesitant, like he was afraid to ruin something sacred. Taehyung tilted his face up. Their lips met. This time, it wasn't tentative. It was desperate, soft, hungry in the way starving people reach for bread. Jungkook's hand slid to Taehyung's waist, still careful, still controlled, but Taehyung pressed closer, seeking warmth, seeking proof. Please, Taehyung whispered, not even sure what he was asking for. Don't stop because you think I'll break. Jungkook exhaled sharply. I'm stopping because if I don't, he admitted, forehead resting against Taehyung's, I won't know how to hold back. They undressed each other slowly, clothes falling like layers of fear. Skin met skin, not rushed, not claimed. Every touch was permission. Every kiss was a question answered with a nod. When they finally lay together, it was intimate without being consuming. Jungkook, guiding, grounding, never crossing the line Taehyung wasn't ready for. Days later, Taehyung overheard it. A boardroom conversation. A careless sentence. He knew about the abuse, someone said. That's why he agreed to the marriage so fast. The world tilted. Taehyung felt sick. So that was it? Yet suspicion lingered. Taehyung's curiosity and fear collided that evening. Did you did you know about my situation before all this? He asked, voice trembling. Jungkook froze for a moment, then met his gaze with unflinching honesty. Yes, he admitted. I saw you months ago at a party. I I couldn't stop thinking about you, and then I learned about your stepmother, the abuse. I couldn't just stand by. Was I charity? Taehyung asked, voice shaking. A project? A broken thing you decided to fix? Jungkook froze. You think I married you because I felt sorry for you? Didn't you? Taehyung whispered. Because I was weak, because I needed saving. Jungkook's silence was answer enough. Taehyung's heart cracked. I wanted to be chosen, he said softly, not rescued. He walked away, and Jungkook, who had faced wars without flinching, stood there, realizing he had protected Taehyung from everything except the truth. Anger burned hot in Taehyung's veins, and betrayal cut deeper than any bruise his stepmother had ever inflicted. I was a charity case to him, he whispered to himself, voice trembling. He never loved me, he just pitied me. The illusion of safety and affection that Jungkook had built around him shattered. Without a word, Taehyung packed a small bag and left the suite. Every step he took was fueled by hurt, by humiliation, and by the need to escape the man he had begun to trust. He walked out of the mansion before dawn, the city still asleep, heart pounding like it might tear itself apart just to escape his chest. He didn't want to be protected, he wanted to be wanted. The car stopped at the old Kim estate because trauma always pulls you back to its source. His stepmother was waiting in the hallway, her smile razor sharp. Well, look who's back, she said, her tone dripping with malice. I wondered how long it would take for you to crawl back to your rightful place. Taehyung's chest tightened, but he said nothing, only moving past her. Haejin's sharp laugh echoed behind him, a sound that reminded him why he had never truly felt safe here.
Taehyung's voice did not shake this time. I am done. His stepmother laughed. You think Jungkook will protect you forever? Taehyung did not answer. Taehyung had been trying to escape to his room when she blocked his path. You think you can defy me? You will never be anything but a disappointment, she hissed. In a moment of rage and cruelty, she shoved him. Taehyung lost his footing, his foot catching on the edge of the marble stairs. He fell, tumbling down with a sickening crash, pain exploding through his body. Blood blossomed on the floor. For a moment, the world went silent around him. Pain was sharp, suffocating, but so was fear. The fear that no one would come for him this time. I told you, his stepmother whispered, crouching beside him, fingers gripping his hair. You are nothing but a useless trash. Meanwhile, miles away, Jungkook's instinct screamed something was wrong. His phone has been unanswered for hours, messages unread, a deep, gnawing worry took root, stronger than any anxiety he had ever felt. Without hesitation, Jungkook raced to the Kim estate. The city lights blurred past him as he drove, heart hammering in his chest. When he arrived, the sight that greeted him froze him in place.
Taeyang lay at the bottom of the grand staircase, blood pooling around him, pale and still. His eyes fluttered weakly, searching the ceiling, and when they met Jungkook's, a faint recognition sparked. Taehyung. Jungkook shouted, rushing forward, scooping him into his arms. Every inch of him screamed panic, fear, and an overwhelming need to protect the man he loved. The boy's eyes fluttered weakly, and a gurgling whisper escaped his lips. I'm sorry. Shh, don't apologize. You're going to be fine, Jungkook whispered fiercely, tears streaming down his face. I swear I'll never let anyone hurt you again. He scooped Taehyung into his arms, ignoring the searing pain of the fall, carrying him out through the storm to the waiting car. That night, as he sat beside Taehyung's hospital bed, brushing damp hair from his face, Jungkook's voice broke through the sterile quiet. I love you, Taehyung, he whispered, voice trembling with raw intensity. Not because I pity you, not because you're weak. I love you because you are you, always have, always will. You are not alone, ever again. Taehyung's hand twitched weakly in Jungkook's. His mind, clouded with pain and heartbreak, struggled to accept the words. Could he truly trust this love after everything? Could he believe that someone could see him, truly see him, and still want him? When Taehyung stirred weakly, blinking against the harsh fluorescent lights, Jungkook leaned in, brushing a damp strand of hair from his forehead. His voice cracked. Taehyung, listen to me. I need you to hear this. I love you. I've loved you since the first moment I saw you. Not pity, not duty. Love, pure and simple. You are everything I've ever wanted. Everything I could ever hope for. Taehyung's eyes fluttered open, still clouded with pain and confusion. He tried to speak, but only managed a hoarse whisper. You're lying. No, Jungkook said firmly, pressing a trembling hand to Taehyung's cheek. I swear I'm not. Every word, every promise, every heartbeat, it's yours. Always yours. Tears welled in Taehyung's eyes. The world he had known full of abuse, betrayal, and fear was colliding with something new, something terrifyingly beautiful. Could he allow himself to believe? Could he trust Jungkook after everything? I don't know if I can, Taehyung whispered, voice shaking. I've never been loved like this. Jungkook leaned closer, his forehead resting gently against Taehyung's. Then let me show you, he murmured. Let me be the first person to love you fully. Every scar, every bruise, every fear, I'll take it all and turn it into safety, into love. The tension between them, fragile and raw, began to melt. Slowly, cautiously, Taehyung allowed his trembling fingers to touch Jungkook's hand, seeking reassurance. Jungkook's grip tightened, warm and protective, a silent promise of devotion. As Taehyung's condition stabilized over the next few days, their connection deepened. Jungkook remained by his side, attending to every need, speaking in gentle tones, and holding him through nightmares and restless nights. The intimacy they shared gradually resumed, this time with consent, trust, and mutual desire. The Kim family fell, not quietly, not gently. Jungkook destroyed them legally, financially, publicly. The business war ended in ash. But Taehyung watched it all with hollow eyes. Taehyung leaned into him, feeling the steady warmth of his chest, the protection that Jungkook had always offered. Their lips met in a long, tender kiss, an affirmation of trust, love, and the deep bond forged through pain and healing. Days turned into weeks, and Taehyung slowly regained confidence, reclaiming his rightful place within the family and in the world. With Jungkook by his side, he learned to navigate both the business world and personal life with newfound assurance. Their nights together deepened in intimacy, each touch, each whispered word, a delicate reinforcement of the love that had grown through hardship. Jungkook's patience, his unwavering affection, allowed Taehyung to explore both desire and emotional vulnerability without fear. Every kiss, every gentle caress became a promise. You are safe, you are loved, you are mine. They both knew that the dark chapters of the past were finally behind them. The betrayal, the pain, the abuse, all transformed into a story of resilience, love, and redemption. And together, they stepped forward into a future defined not by fear or manipulation, but by trust, passion, and the unshakable certainty that they belonged to one another,